I'm here going to talk a little bit about the practice of design operation. So before I was a design ops person, I was a designer. So if you think about design ops, there's a wide range of practices. So I'm coming in as a designer, and my past, I had a lot of opportunity to work with product managers, work with engineers together developing softwares. And I had really the greatest experience pairing with my engineers. As a design ops person, I want to actually build this practice into the day-to-day operation for our business. And I'm here to tell a case study, my own story of design ops. So let's talk about design ops. In your own words, describe what do you believe is design ops? Maybe you can put in the chat in a very couple words. What's your perception about design ops? I don't see a lot of a chat here. Okay, let's talk about it. Sammy talked about the complexity to build design into this strategy delivery process, strategy design. Design ops, it's many things actually. Design complexity and quality. Yeah, design ops, let me tell you all a little bit about what design ops potentially we would be doing. Design ops, we hope to build team culture. And we onboarding new designers. I saw someone mentioned like tools, collaborations, culture. Right? Exactly. We hope to build a team culture. And then we onboarding new designers. Also, we facilitate team building activities. And we probably project management deliverables. Someone mentioned interacting about design decisions with all levels of product development. We facilitate that conversation. Here's like we evangelize the business value of design. We take care of communications, internal, external communications, and we also help improve process to help our designers to deliver more effectively and then efficiently. So there are many things, as a practitioner, design operation practitioner will be doing. Also depends on the size of your design ops team. I work in a company, we have about, give or take, 20 designers, and I'm the design ops of one. If you think about some bigger organizations that has a much larger design practice, and will have a much larger design operation team. So today, I'm only going to be here to talk about a very narrow scope of the design op. I'm going to talk about how we work together and how our work create impact, and also how we get work done. I'm putting out some questions here. As a designer, I hear a lot of these questions. When it can be done? It's easy, it won't take long. Can you just do it now? This is urgent. Can you take care of it now? And I know that these questions and the requests are no strangers to our engineers. So let's look at these questions. When it can be done? In the enterprise software space, it depends. There are a lot of dependencies. It depends on the scope. It's easy, it won't take long. Again, I work in the enterprise software space, so we know that nothing is quick and easy. A simple thing coming down to the design pipeline, can you redesign this form? This form could potentially be used in different places, could potentially have several different use cases. This is urgent. Can you take care of it now? Sammy mentioned that. I love that putting fire story. So if we don't do planned work, everything we do is putting out the fire without looking at what is really the cause, what is the high impact problem. And all we do is putting out fires. We're doing the busy work. We have no time to deliver high impact work. So this is where design ops come in play. We provide systematically support to help our designers in this really highly technical organization. We foster collaboration among design PMs and the engineers. So earlier on, there was a question about what's the difference between design ops and DevOps. A lot of the design ops practice were borrowed potentially from product management, and also probably utilize some of the DevOps practice as well. As a matter of fact, how I really got into this design ops field is inspired by Gene Kim's book, The Phoenix Project. I don't know how many of you have had a chance to read that novel. It was very, very informative. So what is design ops? From my perspective, it's about taking care of people, processes, and the tooling. So let's take a look at people. What's our goal here? For the design team, it's happy people, happy designers. And what is the challenges here? We don't have enough people. Typically in an organization, we don't have enough designers and we don't have enough time. So if you think about in your organization, think about the ratio. Think about design to engineer ratio. Maybe you can put in the chat, let me know what might be that ratio, a rough estimate, 1 to 10, 1 to 2, awesome. 1 to 2, 1 to 5, 1 to 10, depend on the size, 1 to 9, that is a really good ratio as well. I'm interested to see if anyone come from maybe a larger organization, engineering organization. 1 to 9 is a really good ratio. Right now, the suggested ratio for our enterprise practice is around 1 to 8. No designers. 1 to 12, that's common. It's getting there. I've seen numbers around 1 to 12. 1 to 12, it becomes a little bit hard to manage. This is the ratio in my org. 1 to 17. So a small group of product designers, we support around 300 engineers. And this is the entire engineer organization. So our product design team mostly support product engineers. That brings down the ratio. There's someone 1 to 20, that's almost impossible to move effectively for the designers working with the engineer team. So we can bring this ratio maybe down to 1 to 15, 1 to 12, but it's still 1 designer supporting 12 engineers. And it is really challenging for 1 designer to support 12 engineers. And if we think about this, it is not a surprise that in a recent pulse survey, our designers are saying that we're overworked. We don't have enough time to deliver high impact work. And we don't have time to learn. We don't have time to grow. We don't have time to teach. Because at the time, our designer on average is delivering 10, they're being put on 10 projects. And then what's the solution? We don't have enough designers. Hire more people, right? That's one route to go. Hire 10 designers to put on 10 projects. But we know one thing, hiring takes time. Another thing is that a lot of time we don't have the budget to hire 10 designers. That leaves us to another route. Cut back to the products we can support. Cut back to the project we can work on. But that is also not very easy. We can't just go around, tell everyone, say, hey, we're not going to support your product. We're team players. We don't want to be jerks, right? So how do we do it? This is where process come into play. We need a process to help the design team to prioritize. And we need to have a process to help the team to prioritize the high impact, high value product to support. We need a process to foster this product management, design, and engineering collaboration. We also need a process to ensure the team deliver the best outcome, not just output. So how do we do it? What we did is that our team, the first thing we do is to reach out to our business partners. We talk to all the the product directors talk about their product, and then we stack rank all these products based on the business priority. If you think about, business talking about their language is money. It is really the business value of the design, right? So we ask our product deliver partners and directors to help us stack rank it. If it's highly prioritized, then we can support that product. It gets put into the backlog if doesn't matches to this priority. In return, our designers are no longer reacting to tickets, requests, putting out fires. Instead, they're working on high priority, high impact work. The next step is really scope, sizing all these products correctly. In the past, a lot of time, because we don't have enough designers don't have enough time, we tend to actually just only estimate work based on the UI, the ship and everything. But we know design, if you heard earlier on, Yoho and Sammy all talk about design, it's really important to involve design into the earlier strategy planning section of the delivery, right? So we need to scope, we need to take into consideration of, time to do exploration, ideation, iteration, and the execution. So we actually now, when we have designers put on the high impact products, then we can scope all these projects correctly, taking into consideration of all these time. And then we actually categorize all the support into 3 different categories. So if it's highly impact product, we put a dedicated designer or even design teams on the product. And if this product is not scoped correctly, if we don't have the product management or engineering support, we probably won't be able to support with designers. And there are other reasons that products are being categorized, like right now, we can't support it. But there's also another category that we do, is we categorize as support by office hours. So we schedule these weekly office hours for designers to work during the hour. We opened up these office hours to the entire product team. Anyone can bring their projects into the office hours. And we actually send out guidelines to people, what kind of projects they can bring into the office hours. This is not the time everyone bringing homeworks for designers to take home to work. This is actually a working hour. We ask people to come into the office hour, work with our designers. And scheduling these office hours is pretty tricky in a way, because if you think about it, in the enterprise software development space, domain knowledge is deep. We need to make sure we have the right designers to put in these office hours to support a wide range of products. And also think about our company, we want to make sure we cover different regions, different time zones. So we have offices in London, Lisbon, Austin, San Francisco, and a lot of remote folks. And we want to be able to structure all these office hours to support all of their needs. So we alternate this office hour times. Another thing we need to take into consideration is really the experience, the skills of our designers. How do we pair up our designers during all these office hours so we can support a wider range of product? So the design ops team is the magician, balancing all these criteria and needs to schedule the office hour. We think about people. We don't have enough people, and we need to think about what is the best use of their time and think about their priority. We want to show them from the busy work. We want to show them from shoulder tapping. When a product comes in and say, hey, this is urgent, you need to do it now. You need to go through the ops and then really truly to see if this is a priority, truly an urgent work. To take care of our people, we need ruthless prioritization. Now that we put our designers on the high impact work, and we want to actually build an environment for our designers to collaborate with our engineers, with our product managers. So in the past, if you think about design, we're so busy doing the ship work, doing the UI work. The scenario is that the product manager will decide what feature to build and give it to the designers to put a UI on it. And then the designer will give it to the engineer, say, hey, build this. So there are so many problems with this handoff process workflow. That's entirely another talk. But think about what's the best way to develop a product. It's really shifting our designers, engineers together to be part of the early strategic planning and the scoping session. So then the product or the delivery can be scoped correctly. DesignOps is the connecting tissue that evangelizes this balanced team approach. We ensure that there is a PM, there is an engineer working with the designer at the same time from the very earlier decision-making, scoping, strategy planning section. If you think about earlier, Yoho mentioned this, a product, we want to make sure there's the desirability, feasibility, and the viability. So designers really, we understand the customers, and then we actually make sure the product we are delivering is desirable. The product managers will represent the business, make sure, it's the feasibility of this product that actually benefits the business, benefits the user. And also our engineers are here to tell us, can this be done? Can this be done in time? And this is where DesignOps can absolutely partner with our other ops. So this will be the time that DesignOps will reach out to the DevOps or the TPM team, the technical program manager team, and to think about how can we support the delivery team together. If the organization doesn't have another official ops, and maybe this is the time we'll reach out directly to the product managers and reach out to the engineering leaders. We didn't come up with this process in silo. We actually went out, structured a workshop with all our team members, with our PMs, with our engineers, delivery managers. And we asked the question, what has to happen to ensure the product delivery teams to deliver the product that delights our customer and meets that business goal? We build this into our process, into our workflow. So we automate the system and connect it to the Jira ticket. Again, it's about using the language the rest of the company use. Our engineering team, our product management team use Jira. Jira definitely is not a designer's tool, but what we want to do is that really we want to speak the language the rest of the company speaks. And we automate this process and roll up this, due date. A lot of time, the delivery managers will really focus on, when's the due date. And then, so when things happen, this is not like set date. It's really a signal to tell people, hey, this is the time to have a conversation. If that date changed, we need to take a look at, do we really need to push the deadline, or do we have to revisit the scope? The benefit of getting design, product management, product manager, and the engineer work together with our delivery managers is that, everyone is talking at the same time. And there's less question about why we're shipping this, what are we shipping, and when this can be done. So this process helps us to visualize and itemize the deliverables. The last bit of the DesignOps is here to really help this two-way conversation. Autonomy for a delivery team doesn't mean the team can just do whatever we want to do, right? It needs to meet the needs of our customers, also needs to meet the needs of our business. Again, it's about speaking the language that the rest of the company speaks. So DesignOps is here actually to make sure the product needs alignment, the product alignment. We're here to help facilitate, kind of set up certain kind of rituals. When do we need to talk? At what level we need to talk? And how frequently we need to talk? Is this a talk from the company leadership, or is this a talk from the product leadership? Is this a talk from the product design leadership? And then we help this top-down view to actually help the team the transparency, to help the team to understand the business value. We also help the team to bubble out our scope change or blockers, our process, our progress, our success. So facilitate this two-way conversation. Here, DesignOps is to help build this collaboration into the end-to-end product development journey. Now we take care of people, we look at the processes, it's time to look at tooling to help designers to deliver effectively and efficiently. Here's an example of a tool we introduced. We introduced a digital canvas tool. There are many digital canvas tools out there. The one we use is Miro. Before the pandemic, our team are located in several different locations, but we're all actually in the office. But during the pandemic, what happens that we are being transitioned into this remote team. So remote collaboration is extremely important. We provide this tool for our designers, engineers, and the PMs work together, diagramming together. And then we also build a lot of templates for our designers to work so they can do things a little bit faster. We replace our InVision, Sketch, Zeppelin into one tool, Figma. This is where all our designers, multiple designers, can collaborate at the same time in same file. This is where our engineers, designers, and the PMs can work together. So we eliminate that handoff process. We're working together. We also double down in our design system so that the teams don't have an embedded designer can work with the support of our design system and also with the support of our minimum guidance of the design team. We built internal customized color tools to ensure accessibility compliance. We invested in allocation to visualize our operation. People process tooling. So with 3 in place, our designers now can solve real problems for people with our product managers and engineers. DesignOps is here to ensure this balanced team approach, focus on build, measure, learn, ship small, ship fast, align team outcome to the business outcome. And now the product is not only the product looks good, looks better, the product is also a product that delights the customer and the customer wants to use and meets the business goal. So we deliver the highest quality work as one team with the help of DesignOps. This is important. If you walk away today after this 30 minutes, remember one thing. What I would love to have you remember is that people over processes, over tooling. It's about people. It's about making sure our designers are happy and make sure designers are delivering high impact, high quality work. Designers are satisfied with what they're doing and proud of what they're doing. The process is there to help our designers to work together with our PM engineers on the strategic level. The tooling is there to help our people to deliver effectively and efficiently. So even you have tools, you have the process in place, or you're looking for processes and tools to improve. They all need to service the people. Our designers comes first. It's about people. In our designers' own words, DesignOps is here to help us to do our best work. So this is my view of operations, and this is also my story of DesignOps. But if you want to read more about more formal readings of what is DesignOps, what do we do, how do we do it, I have some resources. I will share the deck with the organizers later. You can get access to all these books and everything. And that is it. Thank you.
Hi, really wonderful presentation. Thank you, Zhi. We have time for a couple of questions before Dean continues with his presentation. If you would like to put some questions or comments to Zhi in the chat box, that we can then read those. I can already see here after that, for example, Staffan has a question. Are devs and product owners share the design work We are a very successful company, though so far, so can't be that bad. And then a comment about Miro. Nice
good.
tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. We use Miro and Figma. Those are the kind of our designers chose to move to Figma, and we've been quite happy.
Yeah, very good tools. So yes, for collaboration.
Then Thomas comments, as the Weinberg quote goes, no matter what they tell you, it's always a people problem.
Yes, absolutely. It's always a people problem. So we focus on the people.
Yes, and actually, I personally really like the kind of takeaway that you gave, the people over processes over tooling. I just slacked it to our marketing. They probably will put that out in our.
You're welcome to borrow that. I came from a design background, so it's really always about solving the problem of people. And so design ops people might come from PM perspective, come from other perspectives, but since I was a designer at first, and so that it's always about people.
Yeah, sometimes when you are working in a large company, sometimes you start to feel like a cog in a machine. You feel that you just kind of serve the IT systems and stuff like that. That you're not the kind of most important thing, and I think that's the kind of mentality that we need to fight against all the time. To kind of put people.
Yeah, you're always thinking. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're always thinking about the ships. You're always thinking about velocity and everything. And then sometimes in that process, you forget, people are the one here to do the work and to, make our people happy and to be proud of what we're doing. It's the most important thing in a corporation.
Yes. And then we have lots of thanks here. Thanks a million, Jono. And a question from Mukuntan, how to adapt to DesignOps culture to small companies with limited resources?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I'm actually the DesignOps of one. So how I started is that when I came in, I was actually hired as the practice lead, as a designer. And when I came in, it's all about people. What I identified is there's another need rather than just shipping, delivering. So I started to advocate for the design operation role and start to do a lot of the design operation. During this process, you prove the value of design operation. The corporate start to see, this is important. This is an important role. And then we actually created the design operations role for myself. And, and then we have a team of around 20 designers. I'm the design ops of one. So when you grow to maybe 50 designers or so, you can start to think about grow the design operation team. So it's really a slow process. For me, it's really doing the work and provide the view of the value of the design operation. That's how we started.
Thank you. And Tuuli comments, great talk. Shipping smaller is such an important point. Often I see companies wanting to ship faster, but not wanting to scale back the shippable versions.
There's a long discussion about, if you are always the nice to have, we never deliver the nice to have, and your product is not a product nice to have. So here's the thing, when we talk about the product, we want to think about build, measure, learn. We need to continue, iterate. We can't just ship it and be done with and move on to the next shiny thing. We need to continue, improve. And that is the whole idea about ship, measure, and learn, about ship small, ship fast. So it's not be done, ship small, ship fast, and be done with it. The iterative process is important.
That's true. Then Espen comments, I agree that co-design is good since the best designs always emerge when the different minds combine. I think our issues in a big organization usually arise from not having clear overview of who the right stakeholders are from all levels, and thus not align on the basic design before it's too late.
Yeah, that is a common problem for a big organization. What we've done is actually work really on the product level and then take care of we have in control. And then as a collaborative team, PMs, engineers, and designers, we have this autonomy to make decisions. But the two-way conversation is important. That's when that's happening. We need to make sure we inform the organization on different levels so we can align with the business goal. That's when this two-way conversation is extremely crucial.
Yeah. Unfortunately, sometimes it goes just one way, and then things go bad. Yeah, there's organizations have still a lot to learn there. Okay, we might have still maybe there are coming still questions, but if we have 2 questions still, and Lauri commented that the marketing has now completed its duty with the tweet, so your quote is already up there. And Tuomas has a question. As you often have to translate to correct language for different levels of company, should you sometimes avoid business people going directly to the Figma or Miro to openly see the planning phase?
That's a really interesting question. And for me, I'm always about transparency. And I would encourage that openness for people to come in to view it. But then also, it's about hearing different opinions, but it's not doing everything everyone says. It's not the loudest voice win. So we want to make sure that we take into consideration and make conscious decisions and make informative decisions. So that is my perspective of it.
Yes, and Tuomas continues, at least in software development, I try to keep management out of the team spirit level work as there is a risk for micromanagement and confusion. And then maybe as a last question, Niklas asks, what is your tip for the most important aspects for a young designer coming out from school? My son is talented but lacks experience of working in team, thanks to COVID-19.
It's challenging working in team. Not only you just out of a school, in school, I used to teach in university. I try to do a lot of team collaborative projects to encourage to learn that skill. It's not easy to gain. Working with people is extremely hard. The only way to do it is by working with people, really, and to get out there and then to observe and to be open and to try to take in and to learn from different perspectives and working with people and practice. It's a skill that takes practice.
Okay, thank you, Zhi,
Thank you.
for your presentation and a lively discussion for all.